In the decaying Hawthorne Arms, where 12 apartments creak under a century of secrets, a ferocious storm ushers in a stranger to the impossible apartment 13, a door that defies the building's very blueprint. Kael, a time traveler from a ravaged 2074, warns tenant Lila of a cataclysm set to obliterate Crestwood in just 3 days. With cryptic tech and a chilling link to Lila's lost brother, Kael's desperate plea ignites a race against time. As the building warps and tenants turn hostile, can Lila trust this enigma to save Themore? Will the ticking pulse claim them all? Plunge into a heart-stopping sci-fi thriller where every second could be their last. The Hawthorne Arms stood at the edge of Crestwood, a crumbling neighborhood of cracked sidewalks and flickering streetlights. Built in 1897, the 4-story brick building housed 12 apartments, its creaking halls filled with the hum of old pipes and the whispers of tenants who rarely spoke. Lila Marrow, 29, lived in apartment 6, a cluttered one-bedroom where she repaired vintage radios, her hands steady despite the grief that shadowed her. 2 years ago, her brother Sam died in a fire across town, leaving her with his toolbox and a weight she couldn't shake. The other tenant's gruff landlord, Mr. Voss, in 1, nosy widow, Mrs. Crane in 3, quiet coder, Theo in 10 kept to themselves, their lives intersecting only in the dim lobby. On a Friday night, a storm battered Crestwood, thunder rattling the Hawthorne's warped windows. Lila, tinkering with a 1950s Philco radio, heard a thud from the stairwell, sharp against the rain's drone. Curious, she cracked her door, peering into the flickering hall. A figure climbed the stairs, soaked, carrying a metallic case. They wore a sleek, gray jumpsuit, unlike anything Crestwood's thrift stores sold, and their face angular, ageless was lit by a faint, pulsing device on their wrist. The stranger paused at the 3rd-floor landing, where apartments 7 through 9 stood, and touched a blank wall. To Lila's shock, a door materialized, its brass plate reading 13 in curling script. The stranger slipped inside, the door vanishing as if it had never been. Lila blinked, heart racing. The Hawthorne's floor plan, tacked in the lobby, showed only 12 apartments, 3 per floor, no 13. She grabbed Sam's toolbox, its weight grounding her, and crept to the spot. The wall was solid, plaster cold under her fingers, no trace of a door. Back in her apartment, she texted Theo, the only tenant she trusted, a shy 24-year-old who hacked code in 10. Saw someone go into a door marked 13. 3rd floor. You know anything? Theo replied instantly. No 13. You sure? Storm's messing with lights. Lila wasn't sure not of anything but the stranger's wrist device, and that impossible door gnawed at her. The next morning, the storm lingered, gray clouds choking the sky. Lila found Mrs. Crane in the lobby, muttering about new riffraff. Saw them last night, she hissed. Sneaking to the 3rd floor. Called themselves Kael. No lease, no nothing. Lila's stomach twisted Kael. She cornered Mr. Voss, who shrugged, his ledger showing no new tenants. Crane's imagining things. 12 apartments, that's it. But Lila's doubt cracked when she returned to the 3rd floor. The door to 13 reappeared, its brass gleaming, and Kael stepped out, their gray eyes locking onto hers. I'm from 2074, Kael said, voice low, urgent. In 3 days, Appulsion energy surge levels Crestwood. Everyone in the Hawthorne dies. I'm here to stop it. Lila froze, Sam's toolbox heavy in her hand. Kael's wrist device pulsed, projecting a holographic blueprint of the building, with apartment 13 glowing red. This apartment is a temporal anchor. Help me. or there's no future for any of you," Thunder roared. And Lila's skepticism warred with a flicker of belief. Kael's words echoed Sam's warnings about things bigger than us. She had 3 days to decide: trust a stranger from a non-existent apartment or risk losing everything. Lila's life in the Hawthorne was small, her days spent fixing radios, her nights haunted by Sam's voice. "You're tougher than you think, sis." Kael's claim, wild as it was, stirred something in Hera need to act, to not lose anyone else. She met Kael in apartment 13, the door appearing only when they touched the wall. Its interior, a paradox. Sleek, metallic walls with blinking panels, unlike the Hawthorne's peeling paint. Kael's metallic case held tools Lila couldn't name, circuits that hummed, a pen-like device that burned blue. "The pulse comes from a device buried in the building," Kael said, their hologram showing a glowing core in the basement. "It's experimental. From my time, sent back to 2025. If it activates, Crestwood's gone." Lila demanded proof. Kael hesitated, then handed her a thin, transparent tablet. It displayed Crestwood in 2074 charred ruins. The Hawthorne, a skeleton of brick. Survivors' logs naming a pulse event on October 15, 2025, 3 days away. One log, eerily, mentioned Lila Marrow, last seen in Hawthorne Arms. Lila's breath caught her name. Her fate. She pushed the tablet back, heart pounding. "Why me? Why trust me?" Kael's eyes softened. "Your brother Sam. His work. It's tied to this. You're the only one who can finish it." Sam had been a tinkerer, always chasing big ideas about energy, dismissed by most as dreams. Lila's grief flared. Kael's words felt like a violation, yet they rang true. She recruited Theo, whose coding skills might decode Kael's tech. Theo, nervous but intrigued, met them in 13, his laptop humming as he scanned Kael's tablet. "This is quantum-level encryption," he muttered. "Decades beyond now." The hologram flickered, revealing a countdown. 72 hours. Theo paled but nodded. "I'm in." The tenants grew restless. Mrs. Crane, eavesdropping, spread rumors of cultists in the building, her voice shrill in the lobby. Miss Voss, usually apathetic, patrolled the halls, his keys jangling. Lila noticed oddities. The Hawthorne's clocks ran slower, lights dimmed without cause, and her radio picked up static bursts, like voices from nowhere. Kael's blueprint showed temporal leaks from apartment 13, rippling through the building. One night, Lila saw a vision in her apartment, a younger Sam, soldering a circuit, muttering, "It's gotta hold the charge." She blinked, and he was gone, her hands shaking. Kael, catching her, said, "The leaks are showing you what's at stake. Sam was building a stabilizer. We need it." Lila dug through Sam's toolbox, finding a half-finished circuit board, its design matching Kael's hologram. Her skepticism waned, but fear grew. Mrs. Crane's rumors had reached the other tenants, and a plumber, Gus from 4, glared at Lila in the stairwell. "What's with the new guy?" "Voss says no 13, but I heard noises." Lila lied, her voice steady, but Gus's suspicion lingered. Kael warned her. "The Pulse's creators might have agents here. From my time. Protecting it. Trust no one." As the storm raged, Lila felt the Hawthorne closing in, its walls hiding secrets older than its bricks. The countdown burned in Lila's mind. 48 hours. Apartment 13 became their base, its temporal anchor shielding them from the leaks spreading through the Hawthorne. Kael taught Lila and Theo to read the blueprint. its lines tracing the pulse device's core to the basement. Sealed behind a locked door, Voss never opened. Lila worked on Sam's circuit, her radio repair skills stitching it together, while Theo hacked the tablet, uncovering logs about Project Kronos, a 2074 experiment to harness time energy. The Pulse, a failed test, was sent to 2025 to hide its failure, programmed to detonate unless stabilized. Sam, somehow, had been part of it. The Hawthorne's leaks intensified. In the lobby, Lila saw a vision of Crestwood in flames, tenants screaming Mrs. Crane, Gus, Thea swallowed by a white pulse. She stumbled, Theo catching her. "It's real, isn't it?" he whispered. Lila nodded, her resolve hardening. They needed the basement key, but Voss, now openly hostile, refused. "No one goes down there," he growled, his eyes darting to the third floor. Lila suspected he knew about 13, maybe even Kael. Mrs. Crane, meanwhile, rallied tenants Gus, a nurse from 8 named Priya, a recluse from 12 called Elton claiming Kael was a demon disrupting the building. Kael's wrist device sparked, its power fading. "The anchor's weakening," they said. "If it fails, I'm pulled back to 2074 and the pulse goes off." Lila's trust in Kael grew, but their secrecy about Sam, about Kronos, gnawed at her. She confronted them in 13, Sam's circuit in hand. "How did Sam know about this? Were you with him?" Kael's face tightened. "I met him in 2073. He was recruited to fix the stabilizer. He died trying." Lila's grief surged, but Kael's honesty steadied her. Sam had fought for this, and she would finish it. Theo cracked a log naming a Kronos agent in 2025, codenamed Locke. Lila's gut pointed to Vosh been too quick to dismiss apartment 13, too guarded about the basement. They planned to steal his keys, but the tenant's paranoia exploded. Gus cornered Lila in the hall, his wrench raised. "You're with that freak, aren't you? What's in 13? Lila dodged, Theo pulling her away, but Mrs. Crane's screams echoed. "They're cursing us!" A vision hit Lila Sam, burned, whispering, "Find the core." She woke, gasping, in 13, Kael's hand on her shoulder. The clock read 36 hours. They had to move, lock or no lock. The Hawthorne groaned under the storm's weight, its leaks now constant. Lights flickered, clocks stopped, and tenants reported visions. Priya saw her daughter, long gone, in the hall. Elton glimpsed a futureless Crestwood. Lila, Theo, and Kael worked feverishly in 13, Sam's stabilizer nearly complete, its circuits humming. The blueprint showed the pulse core behind a steel door in the basement, guarded by a lock Voss's key could open. Lila's plan was risky. Distract Voss, steal the key, reach the core. Theo hacked Voss's old security cam, spotting him in the basement, muttering to a device like Kael's. "He's Locke," Theo confirmed, his voice shaking. Lila confronted Mrs. Crane, hoping to calm her, but the widow's fear was ironclad. "You're with that devil!" she spat, rallying Gus and Priya. Lila fled, visions clawing at Hera Hawthorne in ruins, Sam's face in flames. In 13, Kael revealed more. Kronos agents, like Locke, were sent to ensure the pulse's detonation, hiding their failure. Voss, as Locke, had lived in the Hawthorne for years, guarding the core. "He'll kill to protect it," Kael warned. Lila's resolve solidified. She'd lost Sam, but she wouldn't lose Crestwood. They struck at midnight, the storm masking their steps. Theo looped Voss's cam feed, while Lila pickpocketed his keys, her hands steady from years of radio work. In the basement, the steel door loomed, its lock rusted but solid. Kael's pen device burned through it, revealing a chamber pulsing with blue light, a spherical core, humming, its energy crackling. Sam's stabilizer glowed in response, but Voss ambushed them, his eyes wild, a pistol gleaming. "You can't stop Kronos," he snarled, firing. Kael dove, wounded, their wrist device sparking. Theo tackled Voss, Lila jamming the stabilizer into the core. A vision hit Sam, smiling, saying, "You did it." The core dimmed, but Voss broke free, lunging. Lila swung Sam's toolbox, knocking him out, her breath ragged. The core stabilized, but Kael's device flickered 12 hours left. "It's not enough," they gasped. "The anchor's failing. We need a second core." In the roof. Lila's heart sank. The roof, locked, was Voss's domain. As tenants pounded the basement door, led by Mrs. Crane, Lila realized the fight wasn't over. Sam's voice echoed, "Keep going, sis." With Kael wounded, Lila and Theo dragged them to 13, the anchor flickering, its walls warping. The stabilizer held the basement core, but the blueprint showed a second core on the roof, linked to Kronos's failsafe. Voss, bloodied but alive, had vanished, likely to the roof. Lila's vision showed Crestwood spared, but only if both cores were stopped. The tenants, now a mob, stormed the 3rd floor, Gus's wrench splintering doors. Mrs. Crane screamed, "Burn the witch!" Priya, torn, hesitated, her eyes meeting Lila's. "Is it true?" she whispered. Lila nodded. "Help us, or we're all gone." Priya joined them, her nurses calm, steadying Theo. They climbed to the roof, Kael limping, their device nearly dead. The storm raged, lightning illuminating a second core, pulsing red, its energy tearing at the sky. Voss stood guard, his pistol raised, his face twisted. "Kronos chose me!" he roared. "The future needs this!" Lila saw Sam's face in a vision, urging her forward. She tossed Sam's toolbox, distracting Voss, while Kael lunged, their pen device sparking. Theo and Priya tackled Voss, the core's hum faltering. Lila plugged the stabilizer into the core, its circuits glowing. A vision flooded her. Sam Kael, a lab in 2073, building the stabilizer, Sam saying, "For Lila." The core shut down, the sky clearing, the storm fading. Voss screamed, firing wildly, but Priya disarmed him, her strength fierce. Kael's device died, and apartment 13's door vanished, stranding them. Lila's heart raced. Kael was stuck, the future uncertain, but Crestwood was safe. The tenants, reaching the roof, froze, seeing the cores, Voss bound. Mrs. Crane wept, her fear broken. Lila explained, her voice steady, Sam's circuit in hand. The Hawthorne was saved, but Kael's gray eyes held a warning. Kronos may try again. Dawn broke over Crestwood, the first clear sky in days. The Hawthorne Arms stood, its leaks gone, clocks ticking forward. Lila, Theo, Priya, and Kael gathered in the lobby, tenants listening as Lila shared the truth: Sam's work, Kael's mission, the cores. Mrs. Crane, humbled, apologized, her rumors silenced. Voss, revealed as Locke, was turned over to police, his Kronos device confiscated. The cores, inert, were buried in the basement, their secrets locked away. Kael, now a tenant in apartment 7, adapted, their jumpsuit traded for Crestwood's thrift store flannel. "I'm here for good," they said, smiling. Lila felt Sam's presence in the stabilizer, Now displayed in her apartment, it circuits a reminder of his fight. Theo coded a warning system for temporal leaks, Priya organized tenant meetings, and even Elton emerged, sharing coffee. The Hawthorne, once fractured, became a community. Its 12 apartments, 13 no Moria home. Lila repaired a radio, its music clear, no static. A vision came Sam, proud, fading into light. She climbed to the roof, Kael beside her, Crestwood alive below. "You saved us," Kael said. Lila shook her head. "We did. Sam, you, all of us." A sign hung in the lobby. Theo's work. "Time binds us, courage saves us." Lila's journey proved that even in a crumbling building, a spark born in a stranger's warning can rewrite fate. Stay vigilant, trust the truth, and face the storm.